Welcome, chess lovers. Today I'm gonna do something brave. I'm gonna challenge this newly launched chess bot, Star Plumber, which is rated at insanely 9,999 Elo points. Honestly, this huge number does scare me, but as someone has rightly said, fear is just a reaction, courage is a decision. So I'm gonna show up courage and play against Star Plumber. Let's see if he is really a star. So here we start the game. I get the white pieces. So he says, ladies and gentlemen, in this video I'll show you how I become an intergalactic cosmic entity born of comet dust and starlight. Let's go. Wow, this guy really knows how to make a grand entrance. Let's quickly start the game. Let me start the game with the English opening. He played knight to f6, going for the Anglo-Indian defense. And he says, I lost once and it spawned a supermassive black hole. Well, I guess we can say your loss was out of this world. So knight to f6 and now I'll play knight to f3. He plays g6, preparing to fianchetto his bishop and quickly castle in the game. I'm gonna play d4, taking control of the center. And of course he played bishop to g7 as expected. And here I'll try to do the same thing. I'll start fianchettoing my bishop, so I'll play g3. He plays b6, planning to get his bishop on this long diagonal, so I'll get my bishop over here. And now what does he play? He gets his bishop out. Okay, and now I'll quickly castle, and he castle too. And here, while I can develop one of these minor pieces, but I actually want to make things difficult for him because he's still yet to develop this knight, and the good square for this knight would be this one. So let me play the move d5, which prevents him to develop his knight on this square. So either he will have to develop here, or maybe, pushing this pawn here and then getting his knight to this square. So here he has played knight to e4, which is kind of strange because he's just moving his piece one more time, and this knight is now vulnerable to attack because I can just simply develop my queen and attack this knight with a win in tempo. And here he refused to retreat his knight and rather supported it with the f5 pawn. Well, honestly, I don't like his knight sitting right in the center of the board, and that too in my territory. So I'm just going to launch a triple attack on this knight by playing knight to g5. What is he gonna do about this? I'm also threatening to win a pawn. Finally, he had to take his knight back to his home. But this knight is very awkwardly placed here. Notice how black's pieces are totally cramped up over here. And I like this position as white. Now I'm going to focus on developing my other minor pieces. Let me first get my bishop out. He develops his knight on the edge of the board. A knight on the rim is grim. And now I'm going to develop my other knight to the d2 square. And now he played h6, kicking my knight on g5. So I have to retreat my knight. So I obviously have to take it back. And now he plays g5, attacking my bishop. But notice how he's weakening his king side. Does this chessbot really have the strength of 9999? Who made this chessbot? Anyway, I'm just gonna, should I retreat or should I capture? I think this knight is controlling very good squares in the center, so I'm just gonna capture this knight. And he captures back with his e pawn. Now I really don't want him to play f4, attacking my kingside pawn, so I'm gonna play e3, preventing that move. And he played knight to b4, attacking my queen. I'm gonna drop my queen here, attacking his knight, and he adds protection with his a5 pawn. Now, I'm a person who really doesn't like if any of my opponent's pieces sit in my territory. So I'm gonna kick off this knight with a3. Knight has to go back. He has just one move. Obviously, knight goes to a6. And now here, I'm gonna centralize my knight by getting him on the d4 square. Look how beautiful my d4 knight is as compared to black's a6 knight. And he played g4. I don't like this move. It's a good move as a black, but as white I don't like this because it's just limiting my bishop's options. My bishop can't come here, can't come here. My bishop is kind of locked up over here. I'll have to do something about it. But first, let me just relocate my pieces to better places before I actually try to begin an attack on black. So first of all, I'm gonna get my queen over here to a better place, because here she's not doing anything right now. So I'm gonna get her to this place, keeping an eye on this pawn. And he got his queen to the g5 square. Okay, and here I'm gonna get this knight to the b3 square. In case of capture, I can re-centralize my knight with the recapture. And he played h5. He's starting a kingside attack on me, and he's quite serious about it. And here I'm not gonna sit passively. I'm gonna attack his queen with h4. If he takes my h pawn by en passant, then I can take back his pawn and my bishop will get active, where it can help my queen double attack this pawn over here. In fact, not double attack but triple attack, because even this knight is aiming this f5 pawn. So I'm gonna play h4, attack his queen. Are you gonna en passant? No, obviously. He doesn't want my bishop to get active. And here I'll get my rook to a better place. Let's get him active on the d file. He gets his knight to a better place. So knight to c5. I'm not going to take this knight, because then this pawn takes with a tempo attack on my knight. So I'm just going to take my knight back to c1, a4, and now I'll get this knight to this square. Rook to e8, and now I'll get my rook on the b file, because I'm really planning to open up this file over here. Bishop a6, and I'll get my this knight to the square. The pawn was under attack, so queen goes back to protect this pawn. Makes sense. And here I'll open up the b file, so I'm gonna play b4, attacking this knight. He's gonna mostly en passant. Yes, I was right. And now I'm gonna capture back with my knight, and he doesn't want to trade his knight with my knight. I'm gonna re-centralize my knight by getting on the d4 square, revealing an attack on that knight, and he moved back. And I really want this b file to be open, so I'm gonna double up my rooks on this file and try to open this b file by pushing my a pawn and attacking this b pawn over here. So I'll get my rook to the b4 square, bishop to e5, knight b3, rook 8, and here I think I'll just capture this knight over here, because I want access to this square as well. So yeah, he captures back, rook moves back, bishop b7, and here I really don't like this centralized strong bishop over here, so I'm going to attack it with my knight. So knight d3, bishop moves back. I'm going to double up my rooks, rook e8 at bishop f1, bishop c8, and now I'm going to start pushing my a pawn. So I'm going to play a4. He can take my pawn, otherwise he loses his b pawn with a discovered attack on the rook. So a4, queen f6, and here a5 doesn't make sense. Obviously I'll lose a pawn, so I'll get my rook behind this pawn, rook a3, and what is he gonna do now? What is gonna play next? And oh my god, really? He's sacrificing his bishop. He's trying to open up lines for his pieces to attack. So if I take his bishop with my pawn, he takes my pawn with his rook. I'll get my queen to this square to attack his rook. And what is he gonna do? Is he gonna retreat back? Oh no, he's gonna support his rook with the f4 pawn. I take back with my pawn, and then what? He might have to retreat back. But then why is he sacrificing his piece? I don't see a strong attack anywhere. Is there something which I am not able to see? Am I falling into some trap? God save me. Now this 9999 rating is really starting to scare me off, because I'm not sure about this move. Like, why is he sacrificing his bishop? Obviously he's trying to open up my king side, but I don't see any attack coming. Look at this rook sitting right in the corner of the board. Look at this bishop. I mean, these two pieces are inactive, and black definitely cannot launch a devastating attack with just a rook and a queen over here. So what's the point of this sacrifice? You know, I think since we all know that chess is a psychological game, and this rating here is just to scare people. Well, I don't see any serious attack coming on me, so I'm just gonna go with my guts. I'm just gonna accept this sacrifice. Let's see what black plays. God, yeah, as expected, he takes my pawn. I attack his rook with my queen. What does he play? Oh yeah, rook chimera. I thought this pawn might be coming forward to protect this, but okay, he's attacking my queen. Okay, queen comes to e1. What next? What's next? Bishop a6, attacking my pawn over here, but I'm gonna counter attack his rook with my bishop, so I'm gonna play bishop g2, attacking his rook. I don't want to play anymore, but we can save our progress. Let's go or whatever. And he has checked my king with a double attack on my pieces. My knight is gone for sure. So that was the whole point of the bishop sacrifice. He was just trying to open up my kingside position with a recapture on d3. Well, king moves to h2 and now he will take the knight. Yeah, as expected. And now what next? I'll take the rook. Queen takes. And here I'll play an interesting move d6, attacking this pawn and revealing a discovered attack on this rook, and he blocks it with c6. And here I'm going to try to clear up the file for my passed pawn so I can actually sacrifice my bishop over here. So bishop takes, pawn takes, and then queen e6 check. I guess that might work, or that might lead to a draw because I can give repeated checks over here. So at least I know I can draw this position from here onwards. With this king wide open over here, I can easily draw the game by threefold repetition with multiple checks. So let me just try pushing this pawn, at least clearing up the file for him. So I'm gonna sacrifice my bishop. Bishop takes pawn and he checks my king. King comes back, and now what? Pawn takes bishop, and now queen e6 check as we planned. A giant bullet with eyes, teeth and arms just bounced off of me. Your check is not concerning. Well, that's one good way to dodge a bullet. But as for my check, don't underestimate the power of threefold repetition, because you don't know I'm about to draw this game. Because that's a safe option to go for if I'm not able to beat you. So now queen f7 check, king h8, and now I can get my rook on the e file, threatening to check here, and queen moves here. So all I need to try to do is either push this pawn or get a draw. So I'm going to get a draw with repeated checks. Check, king moves, check, check, and king goes on g file again, check. This is going to get drawn soon, I'm very sure of this. Check. And now I can safely get my rook over here because I know I can just check the black king endlessly. So rook check, rook takes, queen takes, check, king moves on g7, check again. Okay, king moves forward, check, and he interposed with his queen. Are you serious? Like, this is such a blunder because this is immediately losing for black, because I can just decoy the king with h5. If king comes on g5, then queen takes queen, king takes queen, and then this pawn pushes forward. King comes here to stop this pawn, and then this pawn can move forward. I mean, how is the king going to stop two passed pawns, one in the center and one on the side of the board? This is a completely losing position for black. And after the h5 push, let's say the king comes on h7 square, then I'll give h6 check. If queen takes the pawn, then I'll capture the queen, king takes back my queen, and then there is absolutely no one to stop this d pawn from queening. So let's begin our deadly attack with h5. King moves to g7. Okay, I'm going to play h6 check. Queen didn't capture. Fine, no problem, because I have two passed pawns now. So I'm just going to get the queens off the board. So queen takes, king takes queen. Calm down, Neil deGrasse, try hard. Break some blocks, jump on some turtles, capture some queens, it's all the same. Well, all is not same when you have two passed pawns running down the board. h7, king g7, I'm sure he'll play, oh okay, he's going after the other pawn. h8, queens. I can't believe I got a queen on the board against a bot that's rated 9999. Wait, there is a message here. Did your pawn take the warp zone, wormhole, warp hole, worm zone? Well, I guess my pawn just took over your zone. And now I feel so good about the situation. I'm about to beat a chess Elo bot rated 9999. I already feel that I'm soon gonna become a world champion someday. So those of you watching this video, please like this video and subscribe to this channel because you don't want to miss out any chess lessons and expert tips coming from a future world champion. Okay, enough of daydreaming, I know. So let's finish off this game quickly. Queen b8 check, king e6, queen a8, forking white's pieces, bishop takes, queen g8 check, skews black's pieces, king moves, and now this bishop is gone. King hides behind his pawns, and now from here onwards this is an easy win. Oh, trying to queen, well that's not gonna work. Check, and it's just a matter of time till he gets finished off completely. Just trying to push him in the corner of the board. Check, king moves in the corner. Check, I need to get rid of this passed pawn. I'm actually gonna push mine, so while keeping an eye on this passed pawn. Okay, pawn moves forward. Check, king goes to corner. Pawn queens, queen takes queen. King attacks my passed pawn. I'm not gonna let my passed pawn die. King moves, and now Star Plumber gets defeated. So one important lesson that you can learn from this game is that never let the numbers trick your mind, because the true strength of a player doesn't lie in his rating but rather on what kind of moves does he make on the board. So sometimes even the strongest chess players can even make weak moves or they can make blunders. So never lose confidence on yourself and always give your best in chess. And as far as this Star Plumber is concerned, I think he played like an international master. I seriously don't think that he played anywhere near to being a grandmaster level. So signing off for now. Don't forget to subscribe this channel. I'll see you in the next video.